Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Friday, and I cannot wait to say September 1st. Woo! September 1st, 7 a.m. August, get the hell out of here, man. So glad August is over. July and August, worst 2 months of trading I've had in over 2 years. That was the worst 2 months of trading. I have just survived, and our counts are alive and well. They're not totally well, but they're okay. They're going to be just fine. And couldn't be more happy to see August get out. But welcome back, y'all. It is September 1st. It is the 10K to $2 million funding challenge, sponsored by our amazing sponsor, Bespoke Funding Program, who has not closed down today or been shut down today. So super happy to be partnered with them. Glad they're sponsoring the stream. If you use the discount code Venator when you go purchase a challenge with Bespoke funding, you get 15% off any challenge and an 85% lifetime profit split. So please take advantage of that the next time you go to get a challenge and to purchase an account. Make sure you use that code Venator. It will help you guys out. A lot of drama going on in the Forex world today. My goodness, what a bomb to be dropped on one of the top 2, if not 3 most popular prop firms in the industry, My Forex Funds, getting slapped by regulation. I do have some thoughts about it. We will get into all of that. We have NFP today, unemployment rate numbers coming out at 8:30. We've got a 10K account to give away at 9 a.m. Woo! Busy day today on the stream. Busy day. And yes, Cisco, another day to watch Brad do nothing. That is, we've got several names for Brad now. We've got Brad Handouts. We've got Brad Do Nothing. And I can't, there was another one. Oh, that's John. John Hang Dong. Good morning, John. Good to see you in here. Brad Do Nothing and Brad Handouts are my 2 favorite. This is the live stream where you come to see how to sit here and not push buttons. This is where you learn not to trade. And when you do, about 55% of the time we are profitable. I know that these numbers do not reflect that, but they will shortly. That is the way probabilities and statistics work. And when it comes to executing this specific strategy, I know what my win rate is over the last 100 trades, and therefore I know over the next 100 where they are most likely to be, somewhere around that 50% mark, which means we have a winning streak in store for us here pretty soon. So very happy about that. But let me jump over. John, good morning. Chase, H, Cisco, Alpha Bridge, Andy C, what's going on? Mr. Partha, Cisco by Lemansky, good afternoon. Happy new month. Yeah, Shafa, welcome back, Shafa. Good to see you. Glad your son got to bed on time so you could jump in with us. LOL, what's up, Mr. Alfie? Good morning. Alpha Bridge. Yeah, David Dreams, Ashok, Emmanuel, all you guys, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We are, we're doing it. We're doing it again. I did count, and it looks like Tuesday, September the 26th, we will be doing our 100th episode live stream. 100 days in a row of streaming live while the markets are open. And super happy about that. A lot of cool stuff going to happen in September, I think. So good to have you guys in here. Without you guys being here watching every day, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you making the stream what it is. I'm grateful for your loyalty. I'm grateful for the way that you show up every single day to watch me do nothing. But our little community is growing. I love the camaraderie and the encouragement you give to each other, not only here, but in the Discord as well. So, Venators, man, you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it. So welcome in. Shafa getting out of that drawdown. Let's go. All right. Ashok putting in his first full week. Welcome in, buddy. Congratulations. 5 days in a row. Good to see you here. H, is there any chance you can do the giveaway earlier or later? We may see a setup 30 minutes to 1 hour after news. It'll be fine. It will be fine, H. We're on the 15-minute time frame. If we see a setup, we'll call it out, and we'll do the giveaway. But we'll do it right around 9 o'clock. It'll be all right. What's up, Brad? Ezekiel? Welcome in. Beeswax. Moses Karanja, super happy to join the stream. Welcome in, Moses. Glad you're here, buddy. We're here every day, 7 a.m. New York time. Just taking 10K to 2 million, trying to claw our way out of this horrific spell of drawdown we've been in. We've been close to break even a couple times, and if it wasn't for an absolutely stupid trading decision, not remembering Red Folder News event this week, we would be plus 4% for August. So we were -6 for July. We were +2 for August. So we would have been +4 for August. And July would have, well, so we weren't red. We had a green month for August. We had a green month. We were +2 for August. So that's great. 2% a month. I swear to God, y'all, 2% a month on a $1 million account is 20 grand. I think most of us could live pretty well on 20 grand a month. So don't be shaking your heads. If you took every trade I took in August, you would be 2% in profit right now. I know the overall account numbers still say 4% because it's a rollover from July, but we were actually green in August. July is the only red month we've had. May, very green. June, very green. August, red a little bit. And then we're green. July was red. And then August, we were green. So hopefully we can get back on track and get back to our April, May, June numbers and growth here. And I think we will be fine. Again, I'm not worried about it. We're keeping the long-term perspective in place. We're looking at the next 100 trades. That is what our focus always is. It's not the next trade. It's not the result of the last trade. It's the next 100. And we're going to stay locked in, only taking our A+ setups. And that could be 2 or 3 a week. It could be none a week. But when they show up, we're going to strike. So that's the name of the game. If you're just new to the stream and you want to know what strategy we trade, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can check out the trading strategy. There is a trading strategy, $10K to $2 million trading strategy we are using. It'll lock it all down for you. And if we happen to find a setup today, of course, we break it down in real time as well. We watch euro dollar, pound yen, dollar yen, US 30, and potentially others. If people call them out in chat, we'll see what it goes. Good morning, George. Welcome in, buddy. Cisco, I've just been triggered in on an EN. EN, wow. What can you say about the MFF situation? We will get to that. Mohammed Sayem made a stupid mistake today. Didn't put the critical grab in consideration. Took a stop loss. I did see that trade. Phase 1 now at 2% profit. Bro, you're still 2% in profit. There's nothing to be ashamed of about that. 2% in profit is it's a great place to be. LOL, you kidding? In my country, I can live with 2 girlfriends for a year on 20 grand. All right. I don't look. We'll save that conversation. Remind me about this. The whole multiple girlfriends, multiple wives situation. I've got some thoughts about all that. We'll get back to that. So, all right. We're doing our 10K draw in just about 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours now. We've got news coming out at 8:30, so we've got an hour and 20 minutes here to talk and to chat and to get into what's going on. Cisco, amen, brother. That's exactly where I was going to go with this. Exactly where I was going to go. All right, so listen, Bespoke and my Forex funds. So my Forex funds has been temporarily closed due to regulators in Canada and apparently the U.S. Have stepped in and shut them down. They've frozen all their bank accounts. They won't let them do business. They have a court hearing scheduled for September 11th, 10 days from now. So until then, anyone with a MyForex Funds account is basically done. Like you can't access your funds, you can't make withdrawals, you can't make payouts, you can't buy new accounts. Their business has been closed. This is one of the biggest prop firms in the space, has been completely shut down. Completely shut down. Hold on one second. So what does this mean? Well, I think this is an isolated case. Quite honestly, I do. And I think there's a few reasons for this. Number one, I don't know if you guys remember, we need to go back and break down what happened to Funding Talent. Funding Talent was a prop firm that you may or may not be aware of, but they were popular back before the pandemic, back 2018, 19, 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there. I don't have the specific dates in front of me, but they were basically FTMO. Like you were either going to work with FTMO or Funding Talent. Funding Talent was the next biggest kind of most popular social media firm in the space at the time. I can't remember the girl's name that was running it, but there was a girl on social media who was running it. She actually just did an interview, I think with Words of Wisdom on his podcast a couple months back. Was her name Jessica or something like that? I can't remember. Anyway, this company got shut also almost to the exact wording. If I remember right, I can remember them posting almost to the exact same wording that MyForex Funds has just posted. Now, MyForex Funds is based in Canada. Okay, they are registered in as a Canadian business. Funding Talent also registered as a Canadian business. And what's going on here is the Canadian regulators have stepped in and said, yo, this is not okay. Y'all are breaking all kinds of, it looks apparently it looks to us as though you're operating as a securities exchange, an unregulated securities exchange, basically. And they shut them down. And Funding Talent went out of business. All the people that had bought all their challenges, and some of them, I think, got their money back. A lot did not. A lot just got completely screwed and washed out on it. MyForex Funds also doing something very similar. And if you didn't know this, MyForex Funds broker is basically an internal broker. They're not using ACAP. They're not using a regulated broker for their funds. They're not using anything. They are basically, whatever their master accounts are on, it's whatever they're offering everyone else to trade on is basically their own internal server. They're basically becoming their own broker. And that brings in a whole other host of regulation issues, especially in Canada. Like you can't just open a broker in Canada. You can't just become a Forex broker in Canada and just not regulate, not register, not be regulated, not follow all the same procedures that all of the other financial exchanges are following. So they've kind of shot themselves in the foot by not using external broker options like a Think Markets or an Ava Trades or a Purple Markets or Blueberry Markets or whatever it is. Whatever other broker options are out there, they're not using them, at least to my understanding. And so the Canadian regulation has stepped in and said, yo, you're an unregulated broker, and we're not going to have that. So boom, we're going to freeze every account you have. You have no more access to your funds. This is illegal. So why is that different than anyone else? Well, almost every other firm that I know of, except FTMO. FTMO, I think, does something similar where they basically have internal B-booking broker accounts where they provide their own liquidity which is why you basically have no slippage and no spreads or whatever it is with FTMO. Very similar. However, FTMO, it's not registered in Canada. FTMO is wherever they are, over in Central Europe somewhere. And they do not face the same regulatory scrutiny in their country of origin that the Canadian government is going to give. So all of these, any company that is registered in Canada, I don't know what all prop firms are registered as Canadian businesses. If they're operating in any kind of a similar way to my Forex funds, the chances that they're going to get slapped and shut down are extremely high. And any company that is not registered in Canada and is using an external broker for liquidity and orders and order flow, a regulated broker, keyword, regulated broker, then you're going to be fine. Those firms are going to be fine. And all the other firms are rushing online to talk about, we're okay. This does not affect us. We've talked to our legal teams. And again, it seems to be isolated into the Canadian government regulation, and it seems to be isolated to firms that are not using regulated brokers to manage their funds and their trades and their order flow. So big difference, big difference. I know that there's several firms that are registered in Dubai. They have basically they don't care. They're not going to step in and just, not to say that they won't ever not do that, but right now, Dubai, very friendly place to open up and start a prop firm account, company, and use their banking system and follow all their rules and regulations. Very easy, very safe. I know there's several firms that are registered as Dubai. I'm sure there are other countries around the world where you can register, and as long as you're using a regulated broker, where you're not acting as the broker itself. If you're not acting as the broker yourself, these firms should be fine. And it appears that my Forex funds based in Canada was acting basically as its own internal broker, and the regulators said, illegal, can't do that. Now, it seems they're pretty confident that they've got their bases covered, and it seems that by around September 11th, they feel confident this will get worked out. And I hope it does, because they're a massive firm. They are a massive prop firm. And they have been very consistent in the way that they handle business. They have been paying out millions of dollars to successful and profitable traders. There are huge influencers, social media influencers and traders with huge accounts with them that are obviously affected by all of this. And they're all not getting any payouts right now. They're not going to make any money from my Forex funds. Now, will they get it worked out? TBD. We'll see. We will see. We don't know. You just have to sit and watch and wait. And my guess is they're not going to be very forthright about all the details and what's going on behind the scenes and being transparent. It's a legal matter. So for that, they're probably going to be pretty quiet between now and then, and giving you just as much information as they need to give you to keep people, there's blood in the water, there's sharks looking to eat. And so they're going to give enough information that they can to try to keep their customers around and not bail. If this happens once, who says it won't happen again? Will they survive this? Don't know. I mean, this is a huge, to just go from being the number 1 or 2 prop firm in the space as far as size and popularity goes to actually being shut down, that you cannot do business. The thousands and thousands and thousands of traders that are in challenges that are being funded. There are so many traders right now that are completely pissed off, hurt, wounded, confused about what's going on. This is why I say you should not only be trading with one prop firm. You should be trying to get max funded with as many firms as you can, so that in the event this happens to a firm that you're affiliated and trading with, your career is not just tanked back to square one. So that's number one. You should be trading with more than one prop firm. Now, I understand you may not have the funds to do that yet, but as soon as you can, you should be trying to get funded across multiple firms. So that's step one. Don't just stay with one firm. You should be trying to get that done as quickly as possible. So that's number one. Number two, you should be trying to build up your own personal account. If all you do is try to live off of payouts from prop firms, and you're not building up your own personal trading account, you're going to get screwed over in the end. You need to have your own personal funds to trade with. Even no matter how small it is, let's say you take 20% or 30% or 50%, whatever it is, whatever percentages is, you set aside a certain percentage of every single payout that you get after you become profitable, and you set it aside and you put it into a personal trading fund. Now, whether you actually open an actual brokerage account and you put that in there for it to just to sit there, or you just set it aside so that you have those funds readily available to trade at some point in time in the future, you need to have that fund. You need to build it up. The ultimate trading freedom is not prop firm money. It's your own personal account. Now, it's going to take you some time to grow it to a size where it can provide the same type of leverage and risk reward. You're only risking 1%, 0.5%, whatever it is. It's going to take you some time to build it up to a large enough size where it's going to be able to truly be helpful for you. But if you can reach max funding with a 1 or 2 accounts, and you can make 2 to 3% a month for 4 months or 5 months in a row, I promise you, your personal account is going to be large enough to make a difference in your life. So you should not be trading with just one firm. You should be taking a certain percentage of your payouts, every payout that you can get. Once you are getting payouts, I know that's a big step. A lot of you are just saying, like, I just need to get funded with one firm. Cool, I get it. No big deal. Then you don't really have much to worry about right now anyway, quite honestly. If you're still just trying to get funded with one firm, this isn't a big deal to you. If you're just trying to buy a $50 or $100, account challenge with one firm and get funded and try to snowball that and stack accounts, kind of like what we're modeling how to do here on this live stream, then it's not going to be that big of a deal for you. Only in the sense that there's other firms in other countries that are not going to have regulation problems that you can always just buy another 10K account with a couple weeks or in a month after you've gotten another paycheck or saved up whatever it is. So I think that's kind of the biggest things. The 2 takeaways is you should not be putting all your eggs in one basket ever when it comes to financial diversification, right? You want to spread your risk, just like you have risk management on any one live trade that you're taking. You should have a risk management in the way that you're approaching your overall financial trading career. And that means breaking it down on a bigger scale of, where are my funded accounts across how many firms? Are those firms okay? Are they in different countries? Are they in different? Because here's the other thing: if all of your, let's say, all of your prop firms are all registered in, let's say, London, UK, and London, UK steps in and says, "All right, we're done with this," and you don't have a prop firm that's registered in Dubai or Australia or US, or I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's all across the board. You need to be diversified. So do your research, understand how the business is set up, where they're located, how they're regulated, what brokers they're using. Are they an internal broker? Are they using regulated external brokers? All of those things come into play, and you need to be taking it seriously. It's a big freaking deal that my Forex funds got slapped and is temporarily shut down. So it's a big deal. So that's kind of my spiel on my Forex funds. I think, just to wrap it all up, I think it's an isolated case. I think there are very clear reasons why they are being targeted with this suspension. And I think other firms are perfectly fine, and this is not going to be a ripple effect across the industry. You're not going to see, I don't think you're going to see a 2, 3, 4, 8 more firms start getting fined or suspended or shut down due to the same reasons that my Forex funds is facing right now. So that's kind of it. That's kind of my Forex funds spiel. So if you are trading with my Forex funds, Kaylor, the CEO of Bespoke, I think tweeted out a discount code. I think it's a 20% discount code. So for any traders affected from my Forex funds to jump over to Bespoke, it's a little bit better than my discount. It's 5% more. You can use, if you want to take advantage of that, you can use my affiliate link in the YouTube. That way the stream still is helped out and grows and gets credit for that. Or you just use the Venator, either one. But take advantage of that. I know, I'm in a chat thread with the other Bespoke partners and the business officers, and they've been in there all morning saying, guys, look, this is fine. We're perfectly good. This has nothing to do with us. We feel bad for those guys, but we've been in touch with legal, and everything is A-okay and completely above board at Bespoke. There's nothing to fear. So I do feel bad for those guys. There were some people online a few months ago that were saying, look, my Forex funds could be in trouble. That the way that their business model is set up, that it could cause problems legally down the road with regulation. And sure enough, here we are. We'll see how prepared they are to handle this situation legally and what the outcome of it will be. But the government wants their pound of flesh, it appears, and they typically get it when they want it. They typically don't just step in randomly and shut financial businesses down unless they feel like they have a very good reason and case to do so. So kind of a big deal, a lot happening there. I'm going to jump back over into the chat here and try to catch up with the chat. I'm going to scroll back up. I may be getting to questions and seeing stuff that you guys have already asked or I've answered. But good morning, KC Villain. It's 5 p.m. here in my country. Good evening. Welcome in. Shafa, when you millions of dollars per day, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Albert Burgess. Albert Burgess, yo, what's poppin', man? Bespoke partner in the house. Good to have you, buddy. If you don't follow Albert, you should. He's a great follow on Twitter and YouTube. Does some podcasts with some heavy hitters. Great podcast to go watch. If you're not familiar with Albert's podcast, highly recommend. I'm trying to see what's Albert's. I need to find your what's your Twitter, buddy? And it's just at Albert Burgess. There it is. Just at Albert Burgess, and then you can follow him on YouTube as well. But great Bespoke partner. But definitely go check him out. And good to have you in the stream, buddy. You're welcome here anytime. In fact, we need to set up a time where you can jump on here on the stream with us and break it down, man. I know these guys would love to hear your thoughts on charts and analysis. It's good just to hear other professional, profitable traders in the live market just break it down, have some conversation. So we need to set that up, man. We need to set that up. Fritz, good morning. H. Yeah, Jessica said that. I can't remember. Matthew Hope. I hope it is an isolated case. My Forex funds uses their own broker, which I think could be the issue. That's exactly my take on it. Trading night. Welcome in, buddy. Alpha Bridge. Let's be real. Offering CFD trading services without any regulations is illegal, not just in Canada, but almost everywhere in the world. 100%. Saeem, I'm packing my bags to go to Dubai after getting funded. Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan. Bakong, good afternoon. Welcome in, buddy. Mr. Partha. Plus, it'll also create trust issues among new traders who are willing to buy accounts. It's going to be an issue for them. They're going to have to come out very clearly once, if this can get resolved, they're going to have to come up with something to convince and rebuild the trust that this is a trust earthquake for them. It is huge. When your firm gets shut down by the government and you're not allowed to do business, what confidence can your clients have to come back to you and feel like this is not going to happen again and we can continue on just like we were before? I promise you, this could be a very, very serious death knell for them. I hope it's not. They have been a titan in the industry for quite a while, for several years now. It's sad to see. I feel bad for the traders that are connected with them. I do not have. I used to have a funded account with them. Lost that account over a year ago, and I've never gone back to them. So you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I can't even pass a challenge, but getting there for sure. Hey, man, just stick with it, Red. You're going to be fine, buddy. Just hang out here. We will get you across the line. Cisco, like the stream, y'all. Wise words as always. Got to have the long-term plan. Thanks, Cisco. Man, you really had something to say about it. Totally agree on having multiple accounts. John Jones, thank you for explaining all of that. Puts more context into ICT's cryptic tweets. On a tangent, ICT's cryptic tweets get old, like the time he implied he used to be a central banker. ICT tweets a lot of crap, man. Like, no doubt. That dude is a tweeting machine. And he often likes to be mysterious. He likes the kind of enigma that he has created around his online personality. And he likes to think that he wants to appear like he has inside knowledge that he just can't share. Right? It's like this, and that's his shtick. I get it. It is what it is. Casey 100 giveaway stream. Yeah, we are definitely doing a 100K giveaway on the 100th live stream. That will be coming up in just a few weeks near the end of September. We will be doing the live stream. So we'll be doing the 100K giveaway. Aditya, is my Forex funds really shut down? I have 3 accounts. It is all in phase 2. It absolutely is, Aditya. And I'm so sorry that you have. They are not permanently shut down. They are currently just temporarily unable to do business. So yes, I'm not sure if they've turned off and frozen all their accounts or if traders can actually still get on and continue to trade and pass challenges or whatnot. I don't know. I do know they're not giving any payouts. I haven't been to their website to check to see if they're letting people purchase new accounts or whatnot. I would guess no. But yeah, they're definitely not good. At Albert Burgess is at Albert 67. No, I think it's just at Albert Burgess. So it is, if you want to follow Albert. Whoa, don't want that up. There's Albert. There's Albert. And you can definitely go and follow him. Great follow. And as always, he also has, he's got a great YouTube. Again, his podcast stuff is fantastic. So go give Albert a follow. You won't be disappointed. He's also a Bespoke funding program partner. If you've seen Bespoke's videos, you've probably seen Albert on a couple of them at some point. So he has been affiliated with them for quite some time, almost basically since the beginning. But good dude, you won't be disappointed. Good follow. I've closed the wrong window there. Let me get this back up. All right, there we go. Moses, some valuable insights, and I'm loving the stream. Thanks, Moses. Appreciate you, man. Emmanuel Bottle, let's have 10K account giveaways so a lot of people could benefit more. You never know what we can squeeze out. We'll see. We do a 10K account every single week. So, I mean, you have a chance every single week. A 100K account, though, pretty special. 100K for the 100th live stream. I think that's pretty cool. John is like a magician. Can you imagine trying to be friends with Chris Angel or David Blaine? That would be so annoying. Oh my God, that would be so annoying. All right, let's jump in. Let's do some analysis. August is over, y'all. August is done. And we have gotten ourselves back into profit in August. We were 2% profit in August, so that's good to see. We would have been 4% had I not just completely ignorantly, human mistake, forgotten about red folder news while I had orders set and didn't cancel them in time. So, it's unfortunate. We could have been 4% profit for August, but we did not do that. So we're 2% profit, still good. And we're back at it. So let's jump up to our monthly calendar and look and see what has happened. You can see here on Eurodollar last month, not August, July, we reached all the way up into this weekly volume imbalance over here, completely filled it in. And then price just completely rejected down off of that. Let me zoom in a little bit here so you can see this. I'm going to take my markings off. So you can see we had this wick up rejection off of it, grab buy side liquidity, and now we've displaced lower. This close right here is the most neutral of closes I could possibly. I told you yesterday I would have preferred to see Eurodollar close below the low of July. It did not. It did not. Doesn't mean we won't still reach for August low down here. I still am overall slightly bullish on dollar, which means I'm going to be more slightly bearish on euro and pound. That's still kind of my vibe here. If you jump down to the weekly time frame, you can see we did close on the weekly below those lows. We grab liquidity, we've run down. This becomes a weekly breaker. The last down close candle before we ran liquidity, we've displaced through it. There wasn't a good clean fair value gap in there, but that doesn't matter. That's just the model I trade. This is still a breaker, and price traded right back up into it and has fallen off for the rest of the week. So we'll close out the week today, which is also the beginning of the month. Initially I had, if you'll remember my analysis from Monday, I did not think we would come back up and take out last week's high. I was completely wrong on that. Absolutely horrible analysis. Well, not horrible. It's just, I was wrong, and you're going to be wrong. You're not going to be able to do analysis. Your analysis is not going to be 100% correct every single time you do it. It's just not going to happen. But what has happened is you've come up here, tapped into buy side liquidity, pulled back down, currently sitting inside this daily fair value gap right there. If price is going to go higher, you would definitely anticipate that bullish PD arrays would be respected, meaning order blocks, fair value gaps, all of these things would push price higher. If this gets violated and traded through, then we're still bearish. And I definitely still feel like we are in a bearish downtrend. We've closed below this low. We've come back up. We've grabbed liquidity. And now we've had a large outside engulfing bearish candle here. So big push up and immediately large candle. This sets up a order block. And you can see today's candle opened, came right back up into this daily order block right here and has fallen away. So really kind of a nice setup trade there, coming right back into this breaker. If you go down to the 4 hour, you can see these last two down close candles. We stabbed up above buy side liquidity. We displaced through. There is a small fair value gap right here that lines up with this 4 hour, and it tapped right up into it overnight. And we have since seen lower prices after tapping into this breaker. It didn't get very deep into the breaker. It still could. Maybe news, you get a pop up, a Judas swing, an impulse move, get a wick up into this breaker, potentially into this fair value gap, and then it continues lower. Could also just drop down. Could also just get some random ass news that sends this, and you get a candle that takes out all this buy side up there, and we start September with a huge upswing. So we'll see. We're just gonna wait and see. I have no idea what the numbers are gonna be, and I don't really care. I just know that I'm not gonna do a damn thing until the NFP and unemployment numbers come out. That's the last little bit of news that we need to see happen before we can do anything else. So 7:45 New York time. We've got about an hour and 15 minutes until our 10K account giveaway. So you guys hang in there. I will give you instructions on exactly what you need to go do to be eligible to win. You will need a Twitter account. So if you do not have a Twitter account, you're going to need to get one. You have plenty of time to just make a free Twitter account, X account. I don't know. Is it still called Twitter or is it called X? I guess it's called X. But when I go online, I have to type in twitter.com to get to my account. So is it X? Is it Twitter? What is it? I don't know. Mr. Alfie, yeah, that would be annoying every time you're trying to have sexy time with the wifey. Jim the Wonder Dog interrupts. Split the 100K into 10 to reach more people. I'm reaching people all month long, so probably not going to split that up. Somebody's going to get a 100K account. Somebody's going to get a 100K account. Our cats are like that. I have to shut them out of the room. So I can't remember. I don't know if you guys remember the comedian's name. What's his name? The You Might Be a Redneck guy. Yeah, I cannot remember his name. But he does this whole bit of you might be a redneck if... what's his name? Foxworthy. Jeff Foxworthy. He does this whole... he has a whole comedy bit. I can't remember what it was, but he talks about, sexy time with the wife. And you get the... You look down at the end of the bed and the dogs are just looking over the bed. You just see their eyes and their noses and they're like, what you doing? You feel their cold noses on your bottom of your feet. It's freaking hilarious. You should go. I'm sure if you YouTube it, you could find it, but it's pretty awesome. Can you imagine all the annoying things a psychic dog could do if it was like Brad's dog? Dude, Kirby is the devil. We all know this. He tried to destroy my accounts, my challenges, and my funded account in August. We persevered and we prevailed. He did not win, and he won't win. How to get back your lost account. How to get back your lost account. I don't know if you're, Simon, I'm not sure if you're talking about my Forex funds or if you're talking about something else, but Benet, SEC has always been very overbearing on the freedom of retail traders, limited leverage on Forex, 25K minimum size account to trade stocks. Not surprised U.S. prop firms have now been targeted. My Forex Funds is a Canadian firm, I believe. And that's why they... I don't know what their affiliation is inside the U.S., but you're right. There are very strict guidelines for financial services regulation, and that's why they're getting tapped. John, I think Brad Stuckhorn is absolutely. How can I participate in the giveaway? Crypto. In just about an hour and 10 minutes, we will do our giveaway. I will tweet out a tweet. And everyone will have an opportunity to go retweet or repost that tweet. And we will then use that, all those retweets. I will use Twitter Picker to choose a winner of the 10K account. All right, so we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. There's not much to do until we get the news. You can see price currently just kind of winding up and engineering liquidity. There's nothing happening. This is a typical NFP morning, very similar to pound, just kind of winding up and engineering liquidity. So you did have this quick little drop down in London, pop back up into the range, and it's just been moving sideways ever since. So until we get some kind of release after this news release and we get some kind of direction, see if we get a liquidity grab, displacements, all those kind of things. That's what we're going to be looking for. Dollar as well. Dollar came down. We tapped into this sell side liquidity, and we've since been bullish ever since. So came back in, opened up, sitting inside this bullish order block right now. I had said earlier in the week, until we see displacement below this low, I'm going to remain bullish on dollar. And that's what I'm sticking to. That's what I'm sticking to. Again, I thought at the beginning of the week we would immediately start running for this buy side liquidity, but I did remind you, oftentimes when you run up to a area of interest and it does not tap into it right away and begins to fall away, it's about to make a big push through it. It's going to fall back down and grab sell side liquidity first. It's going to clean out all of the bulls that are moving their stops up along the way. And then it's going to run higher. It's going to pick up more orders. It's going to grab that so that it can aggressively run through that. That's still where I'm leaning. Now, we are inside this fair value gap. We have a volume imbalance. This could hold price down. You could very well see a reversal here. You grab sell side liquidity here. You've now grabbed buy side liquidity here above this old high. But price is still very strong on the bullish side. So I'm still anticipating that we see a stronger dollar here. The news event today will definitely provide more information about the economy, the jobs, the unemployment. And then, we'll have to go from there. It's going to be kind of a crazy year for the next 12 months. We're heading into, we're basically about, 13 months away from the U.S. presidential elections. So just be ready for some interesting manipulations. Because, like we talked about yesterday, it's all about staying in power. And whatever we need to do, say, or show to stay in power or convince other people to keep us in power, that's what we're going to do. But yeah. That's what we're waiting on. We can look over at GJ. Not necessarily dollar related. We've had a run of liquidity. We're back down at the bottom end of this range here. If you hop up to the 4 hour, You can see we've just kind of started moving sideways. We've been in a fairly, if you look at the daily time frame, we've been in a massive bull run here. Sell side liquidity grab, one more stab above, and now we're really just kind of moving sideways for the last couple of weeks here inside GJ. It looks very similar to what's here. Wouldn't surprise me if you see some manipulation below these lows if it's going to continue higher into these highs, these old highs up here, which is this red line from way back. You could see some accumulation, manipulation, just kind of like we saw here, and then distribution up. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, you could anticipate you might see some manipulation and then distribution up. Currently have failed to take out this high, so very neutral right here on GJ. Overall, you still kind of have to keep this bearish bias, and still until you see, in my opinion, until you see displacement, like a close, a very clear, strong, and convincing close below here, you haven't had a shift in structure yet. This little around here, this is not a clean shift of structure to me. Ben says, if you could only trade one pair, what would you pick and why? Probably euro dollar or pound dollar, one of those two, just because they're so closely correlated with the DXY. They have very clean moves. When they trend very well. I guess I'm probably just most familiar with them overall. They're the most liquid pair. The world trades euro dollar, so pound dollar. So that's probably what I would pick. It doesn't seem to be as manipulated as other pairs, like the Gilded Gal, our ex-girlfriend, the Gilded Gal. Randolph says, I think FTMO Czech Republic will be back at the top of the prop firm market with regulations becoming stringent in key markets like Canada, the US, and UK. Potentially, I think any firm that's outside of some of those countries that have stringent regulations probably is better suited to have long-term success. But that doesn't mean other firms can't. I think there are firms that are maybe based in the UK or at least operate in the UK, but their firms are registered in like Dubai or other places that help protect them legally and financially. So you need to do your research and you need to find out. But I know a lot of these firms also are preparing for regulation. Like a lot of these firms have already spoken with regulators. Their legal teams have been in contact and in conversations and communications with local regulations so that they're not on their radar yet, but they will be. And when they do, they're ready to just transition right into those regulations with minimal interruption, if at all, any interruption. So the way that they do their books and they set up their businesses and the way that they need to be held accountable and report, all of that stuff, if they set it up from the beginning like that, they should be fine. I got to sneeze. Oh, man. Oh, that was a big one. Fall allergies here in Houston right now. A lot of ragweed going around, and I sound a little bit more nasally than I normally do, probably. My nose is constantly not clear, and I have to clear my throat. So I apologize. I know it's not fun to listen to, but that's what it's going on. So here on let's look at the daily here on pound on GJ. You've had this big move up, big move down. So immediately come up, immediately come down. It's tapping into these relative equal lows currently. On the 4 hour, you have relative equal lows here. You have very clear and clean relative equal lows below here. This last down close candle, we've run buy side liquidity. We've tapped into an old swing high, and we haven't displaced through this low just yet. Had we displaced below here, that would have been a nice 4-hour breaker with a beautiful little unicorn fair value gap inside of there to try to take advantage of, but that did not play out just yet. We could still be coming down into these lows. I have noted this daily fair value gap yet to be tapped into. We came right down to it 2 times and have failed to get into it. I think perhaps you could see this is the accumulation. That could be the manipulation piece of this puzzle before GJ heads higher here. But you can see very clean relative equal lows. A lot of orders resting underneath this area, either as a breakout trade or stop losses as positions have trailed up. Once those orders get tapped into, you could anticipate a brief move up and then continuation down. Tap into this imbalance here, rebalance in price, tap into this order block. All of those scenarios are in play there. Remember, overall, you're extremely bullish. That doesn't mean I would not be taking counter trend trades into these areas. I'm not a super confident. I still just don't have a lot of confidence in myself with counter trend trades. My numbers bear that out. My profitability bears that out. So, not saying you can't or shouldn't do that. I'm just telling you, I would not be looking for that. You did have a little brief liquidity grab here above these highs. So if you can get some displacement here below, and you does leave this nice little fair value gap in place, depending on how the next candle closes out, you could potentially see this little right here as a breaker on if you're going to take a counter trend trade. This candle has to close. We still have 2 minutes left on it. Then the next candle has to open, put in a wick, and then drop and leave behind this fair value gap. And then you could potentially have some kind of trade opportunity here to participate in. But again, you're going to need to see the next candle open, leave behind a fair value gap, close, preferably bearish. Then you might be able to participate in a stab up and a drop down, and you could take your TP well before you get into the sell side liquidity there. Again, counter trend trade, would not be interested in taking this. It goes against the higher time frame weekly and daily bias, but just throwing that out there as a potential setup to watch and wait. Do not just push a button. You need to wait for confirmation. You need to wait for this candle to close. You need to wait for the next 15-minute candle to close if you're going to trade the breaker setup. But you do have a run of liquidity and then displacement away, leaving behind a fair value gap. The reason you need to wait for confirmation is this could easily be a seek and destroy profile. This could be accumulation, manipulation, and then you get the distribution higher back up into these highs up here into this fair value gap. So be patient. Don't push a button. That is a potential counter trend breaker setup. Any bias on GU? Still in line with EU as well. I'm going to be slightly more bearish. Just because if you're bullish on dollar, if you're expecting dollar to have higher prices, you're probably going to be, that's going to line up with a more bearish, a weaker pound, and a weaker euro if the dollar is going to have strength. So overall, still bearish on GU. So it is inside this 4-hour fair value gap. It has displaced higher above it. It is respecting this fair value gap here. And potentially in September, you could see September open and put in a high, potentially take out some buy side, and then roll over to these lower, our higher time frame sell side liquidity targets down here. So anytime you have some clear buy side liquidity and price failed, you can see price reached in under all of these lows, grabbed all these orders, and has pushed up higher. Now that we've changed and shifted on this structure and left behind a fair value gap and it's being respected, You could potentially see a swing high put in back up into this fair value gap order block area and then go lower, or you could just see this old swing high. This is the swing high you're going to want to watch and wait to see what happens with. If it comes back up, do we displace above that? Or does price respect the bearish order flow, rebalance some of this fair value gap, and then roll over from there? All TBD. On the breaker setup, LOL says the run on liquidity doesn't have to be with a body close. It does not have to have a body close for a run of liquidity. You're absolutely correct. It can just wick above and tap into those liquidity pools. It does not have to have a body close above. For instance, right here, this is a run on liquidity. We've run into that. And right here, you displaced through. You could have had a breaker entry right here. It ran down into this sell side liquidity. You could have gotten in right there. You probably wouldn't have been a profitable trade. This is probably a break-even trade, but this is a run on liquidity. This is displacement away. You target 50% of the breaker move. So this move initiated the run on liquidity. Target about 50%. You could have had a sniper entry. Your stop is probably above at least the high of this candle. And yeah, I mean, maybe that was a winner. So that's a beautiful example of we ran liquidity, we displaced away, fair value gap, tap into the breaker, and you get a quick 1 to 2 TP. So it does not have to have a body close above to be a valid liquidity run. All right, we're into the 8 o'clock hour. We got about 27 more minutes until NFP and the unemployment numbers come out. So we're just chilling, we're just watching, and we're waiting, and nothing to do. UJ showing some weakness here. We've tapped into buy side liquidity. Again, UJ, just like GJ, if the chart is moving from the lower left to the upper right, that is a trend. That is an uptrend. So we are still bullish on UJ. And if the dollar is going to be bullish, we would anticipate that as well. This is the daily breaker right here. This daily breaker candle, last up close candle before we ran all of this sell side liquidity on the daily time frame. We have displaced higher. Once we close back above this, it's left behind a beautiful fair value gap inside of here. We did not get down into that fair value gap. We did come back down and tap right into the top of that breaker, into from the wick to the body. I keep telling you guys, the wick to the body is where the sensitivity is most. If it's going to react, it's typically somewhere between the wick and the body. You can see taps right into the wick, comes right down into the body of that breaker, and then we get higher prices. We have failed to displace and close above this high. So no body closures above this old swing high right here. We tapped into it once, twice, 3 times, and it's pushed price back down. If we're going to see lower prices on UJ here, this breaker is where my eye goes to. This is a large daily fair value gap. Once it's traded through, it price respected it here. We came right back up into this fair value gap. Price respected it, traded away. Once it's traded back through, what does a violated fair value gap do? It becomes an inverted fair value gap, and you could anticipate price to respect inverted fair value gaps and hold price up as support. So resistance pushes price away, gets violated and traded through, now acts as support inside of this fair value gap. When it lines up with this breaker and with this fair value gap, that's a potential spot you could look to see some type of reaction on UJ at. So first day of September, we're opening, we're pushing lower. If September is going to leave a lower wick on UJ, you would anticipate it being somewhere around here, and then it could just continue higher for the next 20 days or so, back up into these higher time frame draws on liquidity. So we'll watch and we'll wait. We'll see what happens. First day of the month. We're not just trying to make all of our money on September 1st. September's got 4 weeks in it. There's lots of trading opportunities that are going to come. And we don't have to take a trade on September 1st, especially being NFP and unemployment. You definitely anticipate a huge amount of manipulation on days like this. So we're perfectly content not trading today. We're perfectly content just showing up to watch the fireworks and see what kind of massive candles end up getting printed on these news releases. Currently sitting inside this BPR, there's BPRs in here. This is a daily fair value gap. It was violated. It came back up into it. We've closed through it. It should have held price up here when it came down. It did not. It was traded through. It came back up, acted as resistance, as an inverted fair value gap right here. So this we would have anticipated if price was going to remain bullish. This is where you would want to have seen price respect and push price up. It did not. It traded right down through it. As soon as it trades through it and closes below, you immediately look to this fair value gap as being a area of resistance for price when it comes back. And of course, it comes right back up once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, shows resistance. Then we get price moving aggressively through it, rebalances the whole thing, but closes right back inside. We're still inside of it now. So we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen inside of here with US 30. You have had a change of structure. Once you fell to make a new high, you had a very clear drawn liquidity. You displaced below it. You've made a swing low, higher high, higher or lower high, lower lows. You've now traded back up above and displaced above this high. This is still the leg right here that we're trading with. So currently at an OTE, at an order block, we tapped into this order block, wick to body, right? Wick to body. This order block gets tapped right into just about 50% of that wick right there. And then it's fallen back away. So again, first day of the month, we're going to watch and wait, see what happens. We're going to see how everything responds to the NFP news. Then we'll start making some determinations on how we might be able to participate, if at all. That's all of our pairs. And so now we're just back to watching. That's it. Just back to watching. How would you approach a funded account with 8% max drawdown? So here's how I approach my risk management for these challenges and funded accounts. If you don't have data for your last 100 trades in a live market, not a demo account, not back testing, but actually taking live market trades, whether that's a challenge or a funded account. If you don't have 100, at least 100 trades to look at your statistics and your probabilities so that you know what your win rate is, so that you know what your average risk reward ratio is, so that you know what your max win streak is, so you know what your max losing streak is. If you don't have that information, my suggestion is that you only risk 0.5% up to 1% of your account. For me, I know what my max losing streak is over 100 trades. It's 4. With this specific strategy that I'm using, the max losing streak I have had over my last actually 150 trades on this strategy is 4 in a row. That's the most I've ever lost with this strategy. So for me, I have 10% maximum drawdown on these accounts. So if I hit my max losing streak, I can risk 2%. And if I hit my max losing streak, I still have not violated the account drawdown. If I hit my max losing streak, I would be at 8% drawdown. And at that point, I would cut my risk in half down to 1%. And I would have to lose 2 more trades in a row to blow the challenge or the account. Is that possible? Absolutely. But I'm trading in a confident way with statistics and probabilities that I have from my data. That's why I am risking 2% per trade. Hear me say, you should not be doing that if you don't have the data to show you that is an appropriate way to trade. There are people that would tell me that's insane. You should not do that. I hear you. My choice, my accounts, my choice. This is how I choose to do it. And it's worked for me and I've become profitable with it. The reason I like risking 2% per trade, based on the fact that I have a maximum 4 loss in a row currently, then it allows me to pass these challenges rather quickly and get to funded stage rather quickly when I'm not in a drawdown or losing streak. When I'm just trading in a normal trading environment and things are just kind of clicking and I'm playing out the 50 to 55% win rate, I can pass these challenges fairly quickly with a 2% target because I go for 1 to 2. So every winner, I've made 4%. If I can start a challenge and win 2 trades in a row, I will pass an 8% profit target challenge. And if I lose 2, I'm only down 4%. If I win 1, I'm back to break even. So the beauty of 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, a 50% or above win rate, which is currently where I sit, that's how I do that. So if you have 8% drawdown, if I was on an account that only had 8% drawdown, I would need to lower my risk so that if I lost 4 trades in a row, I still would not have violated the drawdown amount. So what is that? 1.5%, something like that. Well, let's see, 1, 3, 4.5, 6. So 1.5% ish on an 8% account. But you can't do that if you don't have the numbers that show you what your maximum losing streak is over 100 trades. That's how I look at what is an appropriate amount of risk based on my maximum losing streak over my last 100 trades. If I create and make a new and set a new record for a max losing streak, I will reevaluate my risk profile going into the next challenge or funded account that I have. And I would reduce that down based on the new maximum losing streak for this strategy. So that's how you should, that's my advice on how I approach, how I determine what my risk parameters are on the strategy that I'm using. So if you don't have those numbers, you should definitely lower that amount down to account for you don't know what your max losing streak is. And until you have that number, you can make a lot of money risking just 0.5% or 1%. If your max losing streak is 8, then you should not be risking 1%. You should be risking, 0.5% or 0.75%. If your maximum losing streak is 10, it should be even less than that. So whatever your max losing streak is on the strategy that you're trading, that should be what your risk profile should be to protect your account from drawdown violation and give you the best chance to reach the profit target at the same time. That was kind of a long-winded answer. Hopefully that makes sense. Randolph says, I like the simplicity of your strategy. I have started to test. How do you take into account the H4 and daily trend in your analysis? Basically, I just look for where is the higher time frame draw on liquidity? Are we in a trend? Once I identify where the higher time frame draw on liquidity is, that's my bias. So if the higher time frame draw on liquidity is we're in a downtrend, then I'm be looking for the sell side draw on liquidities. So basically just looking to see what is the higher time frame appear to be reaching for, and then I'm going to be looking for setups that go into that direction. So if I am biased to the sell side, let's say euro dollar, which I currently am, what I'm looking for is a run of liquidity in the opposite direction of my bias. That's the first step in seeing a breaker setup form. For instance, yesterday, I should have called this trade out yesterday. This was a beautiful euro dollar setup right here into this fair value gap. I didn't call it out, and I wish I would have. It would have been a in profit trade. It didn't. I would have closed it before the end of the day, and it would have just closed in profit. It didn't quite hit the TP before the close of the day. After we got off the stream yesterday, we had a run of liquidity. We had displacement away, fair value gap inside this little breaker here. I didn't call it out, but this is the first thing you want to see. You want to see a run of liquidity above an old high in the opposite direction of your bias. I'm bearish, so I'm waiting to see old swing highs or fair value gaps or some kind of PD array. I want to see liquidity get tapped into in the opposite direction. Then I want to see displacement into the direction I want to go that leaves behind a fair value gap in a breaker block. That's where my entry is. So the first step is a run in the opposite direction of your bias. So here we're waiting to see if we can get a run higher, maybe perhaps on the news, you get a pop up into liquidity, you take out some buy side liquidity here, then you get displacement away, leave behind a fair value gap, and that's where you target your entry. So that's a very simple way to break it down. Cisco Crypto, in about 15 minutes, he's going to do a tweet that you have to like, retweet, etc. He will explain at the time also, to be clear. Thank you, Cisco. Yes, that is exactly what will happen. I'll tweet out something something amazing, like Venator is the best or something like that. Make everyone retweet it so it goes all across the interwebs. And then you guys, we will use Twitter Picker, which I need to pull up and get that ready. Twitter Picker. There we go. All right, that's up and working. Website. Sometimes that website's a little finicky, but it looks like it's working right there. If you didn't register for the Bespoke Funding September competition, they're running their very first competition, free competition. I know a lot of firms have been doing this for a while. Bespoke is running their first ever competition this month, so it's a great opportunity for you to get a free account and see what their dashboard looks like, see how their trading conditions are, how it works on MT4, MT5, et cetera, et cetera. So great opportunity. Number one, it also gives you a chance to kind of scratch that itch of going full leverage or whatever. I don't know what their rules are. I haven't looked at their rules just yet, if they have a max lot size or whatever it is. But man, they're offering some great prizes. If you end up in the top, you can get free accounts, big accounts. You can win massive cash as well on those competitions. So good opportunity to get some exposure to Bespoke if you haven't yet had a chance to do that. Someone called it out on Discord. I haven't been over to Discord this morning. Dunamis Crypto, what resources do you recommend for learning about breaker blocks, fair value gaps? I mean, I would say ICT, but it's just, you're going to have to really dig through a lot of his content to find, just the clear stuff. I mean, you can just YouTube fair value gap. You can YouTube breaker block. There's a ton of content out there that you can watch to kind of get educated on that stuff. Probably one of the best traders, I think, that does a good job of breaking down ICT concepts for the general population who hasn't spent hundreds of hours studying ICT is Casper SMC. He has a great YouTube channel. He breaks things down into very simple concepts and ideas. So I mean, probably he'd probably be the first person I recommend to go to. He only trades ICT concepts. He doesn't just do fair value gaps, breaker blocks. He does order blocks. He does OTE. He uses a lot of different ICT concepts, but there are some, I think he's done some videos specifically on breakers, but Trading Hub, yeah, he's got some stuff too. Like I said, there's a ton of information out there on YouTube of guys who have found success and created their own systems around trading fair value gaps, breaker blocks, order blocks, optimal trade entry, silver bullets, whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of shiny ICT toys to play with. And there's a dime a dozen YouTubers out there that have created instructional videos for each of those. So I have not got into the instructional video creation, content creation yet, mostly because I don't feel like there's anything that I'm going to add to that's not already there. Like there's not a unique thing that I'm doing that's different than what others are doing. And it's just like, I want to do something that is going to be helpful for the people that are following me in a unique way that I'm using it. Then it makes sense for me to create a video. Otherwise, I just am content doing the live streams. I really am. So Ashok says there are a lot glitches in the September competition. The max lot size one can open on currency is 7, indices and metals is 5, but the top position holders using 30 lots on currencies, 10 lots on gold. My guess is those people will get violated out. If they're breaking the rules, then my guess is Bespoke will come in and shut them down. So if they have stated lot size rules and people are not following those rules, then it makes sense for them to violate those accounts and, you know, they get kicked out the competition. Just follow the lot size accounts or the lot size rules and you'll be fine. And don't worry about the ones who are not currently. It's been going on for just a few hours. So I promise you, if it's buggy, they'll fix it. And they'll probably honor and kick the people who are not following the guidelines. So again, don't use those September account competitions to think, like, I don't go into it thinking I'm going to win this. If you do, that's cool. Go into it with the understanding that I'm going to try either testing out a new strategy or I want to degen trade. I want to go in and treat this completely like a lottery ticket and I'm just going to full port on gold and hold it for the entire month and hopefully I'm right. Which that's what a lot of people do. I have kind of mixed emotions about giveaways and I have mixed emotions about those competitions. They definitely are not helpful in giving traders the tools they need to build up the mindset and psychology and discipline that it takes on a live funded account. They truly are just fun monopoly money that you don't have to think about. And like, if you just need somewhere to go to put everything all in on red on a roulette table, then those competition accounts are the place to do it. All right, we got about 5 minutes until the news hits. So, and then what I'll do is I'll tweet out something after we watch the NFP. I'll put out a tweet. I'll put the link in here on the YouTube chat, and then you guys can go and retweet that. Only people who are on the chat will be eligible to win. So, right now there's about 40 people on here. I imagine there'll be a few more by the time we roll around to the giveaway, but you have a pretty good chance of winning a 10K account today. Geez. I guess we could do a quick little YouTube poll. Those are always fun on NFP. Let's see. We'll just do the DXY. Will DXY be bearish or bullish after news release? There is no right or wrong answer. This is a complete guess. So we'll see. We'll see what the chat thinks. NFP comes out in about 4 minutes, so get your vote in. Is DXY? What's happening with DXY here? Are we going to have a big down candle, or are we going to have a big up candle with NFP? So we'll watch. We'll see what happens on DXY here. So currently, you know, we've grabbed some sell side liquidity. We've displaced higher back inside this range. We've got a lot of imbalance up here to mess around with. You've got this daily fair value gap below us of a daily volume imbalance. I'm sorry, yeah, this daily volume imbalance up here. So, you know, you got a lot of different areas here for price to go. You've got sell side liquidity, you've got buy side liquidity above and below. Complete crapshoot. This is just purely for bragging rights. There is no rhyme or reason to any of this voting. So it's leaning bullish. I can't remember what happened last time we did NFP polls. Like how many, like whether the majority were right or wrong. I want to say the minority was right the last time we did this poll. And there's no right or wrong. It's just a gamble. Is this thing going up or down? Is dollar going to tank, or is dollar going to rocket off? We'll find out in about 1 minute. About one more minute. Bulls are still in the lead. Bulls are still in the lead. We got about 45 more seconds, and then the fireworks start. None of it's financial advice. It's all completely a guess. Spike down, go up. Makes more sense if the minority is right. Yeah, some people, I mean, it makes sense. Everyone does the opposite of what it should be. Here we go. Getting a bit of a bearish reaction. Getting some downward action here. Big downward action. Is this the spike down that Muhammad was saying? Is this a liquidity grab, or is this going to send us down into a bearish dollar? The unemployment rate came in at 3.8%. They were forecasted at 3.5%. So the unemployment rate came in a little bit higher, which is probably good news that the interest rates are working and they're damaging the economy. Isn't that the most insane thing you've ever heard? Is they need to crush the job market to save the economy. It's absolutely insane. The non-farm employment change, they were anticipating 169K on non-farm employment, and it actually came in hotter at 187. So non-farm employment jobs actually rose, but the unemployment rate also rose. This is the same thing that happened the other day when we got mixed numbers. The unemployment rate is going up, but jobs are being created. So something's not completely accurate there. Average hourly earnings dropped a little bit. GDP for Canadian came in exactly as expected at minus 0.2%. All right, so we've got our initial numbers out. The unemployment rate and non-farm employment. So non-farm employment change actually increased by 20,000 more than anticipated, but the unemployment rate overall fell from 3.5%, which is what they were anticipating. It came in lower at 3.8%, which is, again, another sign that the Fed interest rates have done some damage to the overall health of the economy and hampered they have hampered the job market in a way that is slowing things down, and hopefully in turn will produce some inflationary relief. It's just amazing to me the lengths that the government goes to hurt and control. Like it has to institute and instill pain in the marketplace in order to, quote unquote, control inflation. And so we want more people to be without jobs so that we can get inflation under control. Never mind that if you don't have a job, you can't make money. And so what the hell do you care about inflation? Never mind that. As long as inflation is at a good level, then we're fine if people are unemployed. Because what that means is that they're probably relying on the government for sustenance and survival, which is exactly where they would prefer you to be. All right, so we've gotten our news shift. All right, so we'll just let a couple of these 15-minute candles print here. We will close down the poll because the bulls won. Well, no, I guess the bears won on the dollar. The DXY is tanking. So is this a liquidity grab? Was this a liquidity grab? And now we've got a nice little breaker set up. We'll wait and see. We'll wait. And this 15-minute candle needs to close. And then the next 15-minute candle will need to close as well. Our GJ setup here on the 15-minute, we ended up getting a nice little displacement here. So potentially you have a nice little breaker setup forming here. Potentially. I'm not telling you to take this. Again, this is a counter trend trade. But we did call this out, saying that we needed to leave a fair value gap inside of this breaker. We've had a run of liquidity displacement away. It did come right back up to the bottom of this breaker. Right. No, why did I have that one? The breaker's right here. There we go. It almost came up to the bottom of that breaker. Displaced back through. Well, actually it did. It displaced through, came up into that breaker. This fair value gap has been left untouched on GJ. UJ breaking down into our daily breaker. This green box is our daily breaker here. So again, on the daily time frame, this fair value gap is where I would anticipate if price is going to find some support and any bullish support, it would probably be down into this area off of this daily breaker right here. We'll wait and see. The US 30 has found a little bit of a pop. S&P more so, it does appear reaching up into the buy side liquidity, and the Nas as well, finding some strength on that news here into September. Four-hour reaching up into these fair value gaps, this 4-hour breaker right here. I would be interested to see what happens if we can reach up into that fair value gap right there. $15-minute time frame. A lot of buy side liquidity getting tapped into here. Was this all we needed? The London push down, failed to make a new low, displaced higher. Could be. It could be, but we'll wait and see. All right, so I'm going to go pump out a tweet here, and then you guys will have an opportunity to go retweet. Let's see. What am I going to tweet out here? What should the retweet be? What should the retweet be? Let's see. There we go. All right. Send that, baby. All right. So I just posted a tweet. And here it is. Go repost that on Twitter. That will be the tweet that we use to draw the 10K account challenge winner. You have 20 minutes to do that. So there's plenty of time. If you don't have a Twitter account, you have plenty of time to set one up and repost that. The Twitter picker scrapes the information from the retweets. That's the only way that we have quickly to get everyone registered and then draw a winner from that. So depending on how many people repost that, that's the amount of people that will be eligible to win. And that's what your chances of winning a 10K count challenge today will be. So repost that and send it out to all your followers. Getting some pullback here now that we've had a run of this initial pump up. What's up, ICT Hispano Hablantes? What's going on? Welcome in. go repost the tweet that just went out. I'll keep posting it here in the chat. For any new people that are coming in, I'll keep posting that. Just keep going, and you only have to repost it once. I think you can only repost once. After you've reposted something, it doesn't let you keep reposting it. So just keep. That's all you need to do. Once you've done it once, you're good to go. But you've got about 19 more minutes. You got about 19 more minutes, and then we'll do our giveaway here. Someone's going to win a 10K account with Bespoke funding. A love-hate relationship with these account giveaways as well. I do understand that some of you guys are in positions where $100 is a heck of a lot of money for you to come up with to purchase a 10K account challenge with Bespoke funding. Even if you use the Venator discount, it's still expensive. And I get that. And so I understand that it could be just an incredible opportunity for a lot of you to have a chance to participate in a challenge wherein you receive a pretty large, an opportunity to have a life-changing money come your way. So in that regard, I love it. In the regard that very few people that win giveaways actually pass, actually get funded, and actually receive a payout. Most people treat it like a lottery ticket. They don't treat it and approach it with disciplined, maturity, wise execution. They treat it like a competition. They treat it like a free account that they have nothing invested in. And they don't go into it seriously and approach it seriously, and that pisses me off. Like, I want to help you. The whole point of me doing this stream is to help you. And if you're going to win a challenge from me, I want you to stick around here and practice what I preach. Take fewer trades, be disciplined, take advantage of this account giveaway. It can change your life. And if you treat it seriously, you can get funded, you can get payouts, and you can stack accounts. And you can be that generational change agent for your family where things switch. And the people in your family tree that come after you can be forever blessed because of your discipline and your patience to lock this down. Lock it down. ICT, I did a whole MFF, My Forex Funds rant at the beginning of the stream for a good 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. You can go back and watch the beginning of the stream after we're finished today, and you can hear all my thoughts on my Forex Fund situation. Shadow Trade says $100 is my 3 years house rent. No way. No way. I'm not calling you a liar. What I'm saying is that is a shocking statement to me. When I live here in the West, in the United States, in Texas, $100 in Texas right now, like, I can't go buy groceries just for my wife and I. $100 is probably going to get us about 3 to 4 days of, maybe 5 days of groceries, depending on what we buy and eat, for that 4 or 5 days. $100 is, going to fill up my wife's car with gas and my motorcycle with gas. And then we might be able to go out to eat at a very non-nice restaurant, get some bar food, a couple beers, and then we're good to go. $100 in the United States is literally nothing to, it's just $100 today. It's the new $20 bill. Almost, it feels like $20, a $20 bill, 20 years ago you're like, I got a $20 bill. Now I get a $100 bill and I'm like, I got a $100 bill. it just does not have the same purchasing power that it did. And so when I hear other people in other parts of the world say $100 is would pay 3 years of my house bill, that's just mind blowing to me. I literally cannot fathom how that works and the living conditions in which you find yourself. So props to you guys for being here. And that's why I'm saying, if you could win a 10K account challenge, it literally could change your life. So I get it. Again, I'm not calling you a liar. I believe you. It's just, wow. What about getting funded and not making it to pay? I hope no one has winning streaks because these are as bad as losers, I swear. Yeah, Shafa, it happens. Emmanuel Shadow, where you in? I swear, bro. Which country? Bangladesh is a really cheap country, but still my rent is $200 a month. Yeah, that's God, $200 a month. Is that a nice place in Bangladesh? Like $200 a month, Saeem. What kind of, like, is that like you're living good? Like your housing is like it's not in this, it's not like bottom of the barrel. It's actually a nice place to live. I'm just trying to get some reference for what $200 a month rent gets you in Bangladesh. I heard from a guy, Colombia, he pays $300 for rent for a very nice house. Aqua Elborn State in Nigeria is where I stay. So he's in Shadow Trades is in Nigeria. $100 is 3 years of your house note in Nigeria. Wow. Partha G, average annual salary is around $3,000. $3,000 a year. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me when I see and hear stuff like that. So well, it looks like we are definitely heading lower by all accounts. Again, UJ trying to reach down into it's taken out that low. Once it reaches into this fair value gap, I would be very interested to see how much lower it wants to go. Euro dollar showing nothing but strength here. So in some parts of the world, $100 is what retirees get per month. Saeem says 3-bedroom, not furnished. It's an apartment. 3-bedroom, man. I mean, that's a nice 3-bedroom apartment for $200 a month. Nothing. That's nothing to be sad about. It ranges, but where I stay costs that. That's crazy. What's the minimum in U.S.? Is it almost the same in every state? Minimum wage. The national federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. I think maybe it's more than that now. There are some states that have instituted a $15 an hour minimum wage. There are some states that have done that. Others, like Texas, I think it's like $7.50 an hour or something like that. But there are other states where it's $15 an hour minimum. I think probably here in Texas, the average 2-bedroom apartment is somewhere between $1,800 and $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment here in the United States. Somewhere between $1,800 and $2,000 a month. Josh Jacob says, I live in Israel. According to latest OECD report, we have the highest living costs in the world. I pay $1,300 a month for a small 2-bedroom apartment. Josh, I don't think they're taking into account some other places. I know in New York, it's going to be probably 3 or 4K for like a 500 square foot apartment. Mr. Alfie, that's why I don't enter your giveaway. I'd rather someone get it for whom the benefits are far greater than for me. That and the fact I've had my account for nearly a year now and still can't pass. Dude, you've had an account for a year and you haven't blown it. That's quite an achievement. Quite an achievement. Just keeping up on a couple messages here. But Mr. Alfie, I appreciate you stepping aside and letting others have a chance to win. That's it's very generous of you. Someone stop Naz. Is Naz just ripping? Naz is ripping. Be interesting to see how Naz reacts around this order block here on the 4-hour time frame. Reaching back up into this volume imbalance. It's just tapped into it just now, but you have a very large daily volume imbalance here. But definitely looks like it's trying to run for some new swing highs here. Now let us have some fun. Only 3% in my country make $500 a month. Wow. Moses, which country is that? Saeem, all will go down. Source, trust me. Vin, are you not into NQ anymore? I still watch NQ. Yeah, no, I mean, I watch all the indices. There's not one that I don't watch. They're all correlated. So I'm keeping my eye on everything. There's not much to do after news release for the first 15 to 30 minutes anyway. So we've tapped down into this daily order block. Did we reach? We did not quite reach down into this fair value gap just yet on UJ. GJ doesn't look like you're going to get an entry here before it takes out these relative equal lows down here. Doesn't look like that breaker entry is going to play out. DXY finding a little support, wick down twice, failed to take out the last 15-minute low there. So we'll watch and wait and see how this plays back out on DXY here. Again, I'm not. If I don't take a trade today, I'm perfectly fine with that. It's the first day of the month. It's NFP release. There's all kinds of things that are just screwy about today. So don't sweat it if we don't find a trade. We're not here to push buttons. We're here to make money long term. And there are certain days when it just does not make sense to try to get involved in the market. Don't force it. There's plenty of days when there are very easy, beautiful, simple setups to trade that we can take advantage of. So don't just rush in. All right, I'm going to tweet out one more time, or not tweet out. I'm going to put the post on Twitter that you need to retweet. If you have not yet done so, please go and repost that, or you will not be eligible to be in the 10K account drawing. If you've recently won a 10K account from me, I would also appreciate if you stand aside and let some other guys have a chance that have yet to win. We've been doing this for several weeks now, so there are several winners in the chat right now. So if you've just recently won, I would ask that you not repost and put yourself in that drawing. Just let some other people have a shot. I'd never traded the Russell. I've never even looked at it, John. If you've not won, you're eligible to win. So just a few more minutes here. You do need, again, you need to repost the tweet that I have linked there in the YouTube chat. If you've not reposted that on Twitter, then you will not be put into the drawing. So very simple, just repost the tweet. That way the Twitter picker giveaway can grab all of that information, and then we'll pick our winner off of that. So currently about 50 people here on the stream. And then we'll get to it, about 3 more minutes here, and then we'll see. We will see what we're working with. It doesn't act similar to the NASDAQ and S&P. Hey, love. I don't know. I honestly don't know how it acts, John. I've not spent any time with it. Boogeyman. Saving my life, doing their duties, protecting me from the horrible bad people outside. Only liked and commented, didn't repost. Cool, Saim, you're good. And if somebody that just won one in the last few weeks wins again, we'll probably just redraw. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm telling you, man, the boogeyman is real and alive in my backyard at 8 a.m. Almost 9 a.m. New York time. It's 8 a.m. here in Texas. We're an hour behind New York. But every day, they're waiting outside trying to kill me and my dogs. Making sure we're safe. Very interesting to see a big liquidity grab here on EU and GU. Not seeing a lot of follow through. So if we get some displacement lower from here, we might have an opportunity to have a trade today. Can't seem to find the post to retweet. If you click on the link in the YouTube, one more time, that is the post. If you click on that, it should take you right to the post to repost. It's had almost 60 reposts. So So the link definitely works. I just clicked on it and it took me right to that. So the link that's there in the chat is the one that you should be using to repost. Had to work today, first day after vacation, a bit late to the stream. Welcome in. You just getting in just in time. All right, here we go. So we've got, it is now 9 o'clock. It is time to choose our 10K account winner. So I'm going to go grab that thread. I'm going to minimize this here right now. I'm going to pull it up so you all can watch how we get this done. Come on. There we go. All right, here's our Twitter picker. We're going to take and we're going to put in the tweet right here. And there it is. There's the tweet. We need one account winner. You got to be subscribed to me. You don't need a picture, you don't need a banner, you don't need a description, you don't need any of that. And then we continue and it will pull in all of the people that have reposted. So we've got 61 total entries. but there's only 53 people watching. So that's interesting. You have to be here on the live stream to win. So I'm not going to go through every page, but they're all here. You know, look, there's Shadow right there. Andy seems to be the last one, but there's a bunch of you in here now, so we're good to go. All right, so we'll come down here and we'll say continue, and now we are ready to begin the draw. So again, I kind of gave this spiel a little bit ago, but man, I really hope you guys don't use this as just a lottery ticket. I hope you take it seriously. I hope you'll stick around on the stream and watch how we do this so that you can learn and grow. But good luck to everyone. The winner of the 10K account giveaway is, here we go, AA Hyrule. Are you on the stream? At KVNG4EX. I'll give you just a minute to reply here on the chat. John, not here. Hey, there he is. Yes, I am. Congratulations. Congratulations, man. AA Hyrule. I'm not sure how to say your name, but congratulations, man. Welcome in. Glad you're here on the chat. And you just won a 10K account. If you would please direct message me on Twitter, I will give you instructions on how to get in touch with Bespoke and claim your 10K account. But congratulations. You are the 10K account winner. We're starting off September with a bang, and you just won a 10K account. So, man, I hope you'll take advantage of that and stick around on the stream. Let us know how it goes over the next couple weeks. But be patient, and congratulations, you are the winner. Hit me up on Twitter and I'll give you your instructions. And this is where we watch the viewers rapidly decline. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. The profile picture, everybody's gone to the pink profile picture. I guess somebody was doing a prop giveaway or some kind of giveaway, and they were making everybody switch their profile picture over. There's a lot of them out there right now. All right, so we'll do this again next week. So we've got a 10K account every single week. But here's the cool thing. In the month of September, I'm also going to be giving one 25K account away to someone in our Discord channel. Someone who is active on the YouTube live stream and in Discord. One of you is going to win a 25K account giveaway this month. And it's not going to be a giveaway. It's not going to be a competition. It's just I'm going to choose someone in the Discord that is also active here on the live stream, and you are going to be selected to get a 25K challenge with Bespoke funding. That's happening. We're going to give away a 10K account every single week on the live stream. And then at the end of the month, for our 100th live stream, that's going to be around the September 26th. I think we should be hitting our 100th live stream day. We will be giving away a 100K account from Bespoke Funding for our 100th live stream show. So a lot of cool giveaways happening this month for everybody here that's part of the Venator family. So you guys stick around, be a part of it. Join the Discord if you haven't yet. There is a link in my Twitter, and I can pop one in here as well. Why not? Edit invite link. It never expires. Generate new link. Copy. And here you go. You can jump in the Discord over there and be a part of the community, as we are in there quite a bit. just hanging out and chatting and getting used to, or just talking about trading strategy, posting charts, cracking jokes, encouraging each other, holding each other accountable to what we're here to do. So if you're looking for a good free community to be a part of, that's one I can recommend to you. Into the 9 o'clock hour, we're seeing quite a bit of pullback now that we've had our liquidity run here on GU. If we can get some displacement lower, we know what we'll be looking for. Dollar pumping up, euro is pulling back. We'll see if we get a sell set up anywhere. UJ is doing its thing. US 30 is kind of slowed down. S&P and NAS topping out there a little bit. We'll see if we get any follow through here. Otherwise, not much to see. Shadow Trade says got 1 to 3 on EU. Oh my God, Shadow, did you just trade NFP? Why are you doing that, man? You need to make some merch. I do need to make some merch. I do have I've actually set up a Printify store. I haven't built it out yet, but I've set up a Printify store. I need to get it. I was kind of waiting to see if I could get monetized on YouTube because you can actually attach your merch store to the YouTube channel. So I was kind of waiting to see if that could happen. We are at, what's our subs at right now? 914, so we're about 85 subs away from hitting 1,000 and being fully monetized on YouTube. So maybe by the end of this month we'll be at 1,000. We'll see, but I need to take just a short little potty break, and then we'll be back to it and we'll see what's going on. So we'll see how many viewers disappear by the time I get back. Give me just a couple minutes here, and I'll be right back, y'all. Well, that answers that question. $55 viewers before the bathroom break. Back down to our regular scheduled 30. I did. So this last giveaway, Daz, was connected to YouTube subscriber list. I didn't even look to see if AA Harilla was a YouTube sub, but I honestly don't really care. Make some Venator trade calls like game calls so we can use them to call in those trades. That would be funny. There's a difference between viewers and listeners. That's correct, Shafa. You're 100%. There's a prop firm match giveaway doing a huge giveaway of $2 million. Really? Ends in 2 days. That's why people are changing. Okay, yeah. Shanghai says, I won a 25K challenge for guessing Friday's close price of EU last week. Oh, wow. That's awesome. The OG 30. That's right, baby. You guys are the OG. You guys have been here. Besides Corey, everyone else is also OG. Corey's the ultimate OG. Everyone else is our OG 2.0. These indices are doing their stuff. I do not even understand what the hell is going on in indices. It's unreadable. Well, it's the first of the month. It's NFP. Don't get too frustrated with what's going on. It's just a whole big gobbledygook of news release, information, manipulation. Let this play out. Let it do what it's going to do. And, then we'll go from there. So we don't have to understand what's happening today to be profitable for September. It's all right. Venator Trading, you need Rod Roddy to announce the 100K giveaway. I'm sure there's a way we could make that happen. Looking for a TGIF, maybe. 2.0, so you're saying we're the improved version. That's right. It is improved. We went from Corey to all of you. So Corey's definitely the original, though. He was here from basically day 2. AI, John. I'm sure that AI could recreate Rod Roddy's voice. All you got to do is go find Rod Roddy's clips, dump it into a voice simulator, and now Rod Roddy can say anything you want him to say. That is the beauty of AI. Rod Roddy never dies. There's enough footage and audio clips of Rod Roddy to make him live forever. He had a heart attack, didn't he? I think he had a heart attack. Probably all that testosterone he was pumping in. Audio is the one tech area Brad could do. That is exactly right. I can do audio. Rod Roddy was a announcer for the WWE, the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s. No, yeah. Yeah, that's when it was. Complete fake wrestling. Why was I thinking he was WWF? He was. Okay, yeah. But wasn't there... Who am I thinking of for WWF? Because that guy's dead too. This is... that's right. Rod Roddy is this guy. I forgot. You're right, John. So this guy announced all of the Prices Right winning. Price is Right was a game show here in the States. Bob Barker was the host, And cool guy. All he did was announce the winners. He would call out people's names. They would come running down the aisles. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. He would do all of that. And then he would announce the prizes. So The Price is Right is basically you have all of these products from, that people have to buy, like toothpaste or toilet paper or a microwave or a coffee maker. And you had to guess the price of that product to win the games. All the games were based on the different prices. And if you got it right, you would win prizes. And Rod Roddy was the guy who would announce all of those prizes, and he would talk about the products, and you just hear his voice. And usually once or twice a show, they'd put him on camera. But why was I thinking WWF? Who was the WWF announcer? Who was old school? Okay, babe, I love you. Who am I thinking of? Bobby Heenan? No. Jim Ross called a lot. Who's this? Oh, Gene. This is the guy I was thinking of. Mean Gene. He was the Hall of Fame announcer. Mean Gene Okerlund. Yeah, he died at 76. For some reason, I had him. I had his face in my head when I thought of Rod Roddy. Messed that one up. You won a new car. Yeah, that's totally. Rowdy Roddy Piper. That's who it was. That's right, H. You're the man. Coming through in the clutch with the right answer. When you find out WWF is fake, yeah, when you realize that you've been punked, you're watching all of this entertaining and it's not real. It's completely scripted. See you, Aim. Y'all have a great weekend. Catch you next week. Yep. Roddy Piper. Mean Gene. Same generation. Yeah, they were the same generation, but they were just different guys. Completely different guys. I need to go hook up. Hold on a second real quick. Let me... I need to get Mr. Double A Herula hooked up. Let me get his standby. And then I'm going to very quickly. Where did that go? There it is. We'll put that right there. All right. Now I need to message him. Stand by. All right, he's taken care of. There you go. What were we talking about? I got off topic. Oh, we're the same generation. We are the same generation. Yes, we are almost 50. Gen X, baby, the forgotten generation. No one cares about Gen X. Did you see the clip? Trading Night, see you, man. You guys have a great weekend, buddy. We'll see you next week. Did you see the clip where Hulk Hogan put a TV presenter into a sleeper hold and let him drop to the floor on live TV? I have not seen that. I have not seen that. Matthew Hope, to operate as a FX broker in Canada, companies must obtain IIROC membership. I've looked into it and MFF doesn't have this. I think you are right about the situation. I see a big fine coming for them. Yeah. I mean, it happened. Already happened to a big firm a few years ago. And now there's a new firm that come up and they're so huge. They went right after them, man. I promise you, you make as much money as they're making and you're throwing around that kind of dollar amount in bank accounts, you're going to draw a lot of attention. And they did, and they didn't have the right stuff in place. So I don't think this is going to be a ripple effect across the industry. Honestly, I don't, but you never know. You just never know. I think most firms are well insulated from this based on location and where their businesses are legally set up to operate. And the regulatory agencies that oversee them in those locations are not as stringent or it's just more friendly to them. And I think they're going to be just fine. Hey, Hirula, thank you, Venator. We'll go check your reply now. You bet, man. Stick around on the stream. Come back next week. Let us know how it goes. Brad, I want to make a meme and thought of you. First pick will say, when it's super easy to get past O-line, and show Trump happy and smiling. Second pick will say, it's a screen, and show Trump with a mugshot. That would be a great meme. It was Richard Belzer. I'll have to go find that clip, Daz, but that's pretty funny. I don't think I've seen that one. Nah, you're good. I know what you meant. You're good, Harula. Casey said amazing. That would be great. Alpha Bridge, see you next week, guys. Stay safe. Have a good one. See you, Alpha Bridge. You're good to go. We'll see you back in the stream next week. For me, I'm going to stay on until the 9:30 open. We're here and nothing else is going on, so we'll stay on till the 9:30 open and then see what that does for the indexes. See if we get any kind of opposite move here now that we've had the NFP. See how the market reacts. US oil reached up into its higher time frame. John, I don't know if you've been watching that, but that's a nice little liquidity grab there. Hit that like button. Let's go. I don't know. How many likes are we up to? One stream says 28, but I don't know for sure. I'll need to refresh here. 29 likes, something like that. GJ coming back up. It did leave those relative lows in place. It has tapped into quite a bit of sell side liquidity here. Not sure how trusting I would be on September 1st of any specific PD array working out. Again, I'll stay on probably another 10 minutes or so, guys, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, Metro. Thanks for the pump. GJ coming back. What are you saying about U.S. oil? Nothing. You were looking at U.S. oil the other day, and we had said it's on an uptrend. Don't chase price. And we had highlighted our higher time frame draw of liquidity up here on the swing level. This was yesterday. We were talking about it down here, and I said, don't wait for a pullback and then get in. It came right back down into this fair value gap right here. This was Wednesday at 10, and then it started running. And then yesterday, where was yesterday? Yesterday was, yeah, all of this right here. We had said just wait for a pullback, take out some sell side liquidity, which it did. Then wait. So you got this sell side liquidity. We displaced higher. We just didn't get a good pullback into a breaker block here at all. It just kept running higher. But it has tapped into this swing high. And so you're going to want to see, can it close above this high right here? Left behind quite a large buy-side imbalances, quite a few buy-side imbalances here. But it's tapped into buy-side liquidity here, came back, and now we're running it again. Big uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows. I mean, potentially you have a nice little breaker set up here on US oil. Potentially. I'm not saying you should take this trade. I'm just saying you ran sell side liquidity right here. Up close, ran, took out this low. We've displaced higher. It's coming back down into this breaker, this fair value gap right there. It could continue sweeping lower because you've got a lot of higher time frame imbalance to rebalance there. But we made a new low, put in a swing level. We took out this low and displaced higher. So potential breaker right there on US oil with a fair value gap it's tapped into already. Again, it's September 1st. Don't just try to get into a trade today, guys. We have plenty of month left. With NFP, it gets very screwy very fast. It's Friday. It's the beginning of the month. It's the end of the week, the start of a new month, NFP release. There's just no reason to try to push a button today. $40 people, 26 likes. Come on. Yeah, I know. It definitely helps the stream when everybody clicks the like button. So... Chase, I really love trading, and it's ruined my perspective of Fridays now. Casey, I'm going for Silver Bullet, guys. Have a good time. See y'all next week. Peace. Later, Casey. Moses, I'm depleted on data. Till next stream, be safe and have a nice weekend, guys. Adios. John, do you think ICT TGIF applies to oil? I think it applies to any asset where if you have basically a massive bullish run all week, whatever the asset is, a lot of people are going to be taking profits off on Fridays. They don't want to hold over the weekend. And so that's why you get the TGIF pullback typically on Fridays. So it's just profit taking typically. People don't want to hold their positions over the weekends. And so they're taking all the profits that they've made all week. Any swing trades that have been held all week, they're just taking them off and getting out of the market. And then they'll wait until the next week to see what happens. Shafa says, I noticed that there are several patterns after 12 p.m., especially the run-on stops. Yeah. Into the 9:30 hour, the initial pumps here, a couple minutes in, not really seeing much reaction here as the New York Stock Exchange opens here on Friday. Initial reaction is back down. Could be just to rebalance that NFP news and then continue higher. So we'll keep our eye on that. Adios, LOL. Thanks for being here. So if you were looking for a bearish breaker on oil, what do you see? If I was looking for a bearish breaker, then a bearish breaker means you're going to want to see this run of liquidity. You're going to want to see displacement back below these lows. That's a bearish breaker. So these two down close candles would have initiated this run of liquidity, and then you would be waiting for displacement below here with a fair value gap left behind inside of here somewhere. And then you're targeting some of these relative equal lows, sell side liquidity areas. That's a bearish breaker setup. You'd have to wait now that you've seen this run of liquidity here on the higher time frame. Now that you've seen it tap into this old swing high, if it's going to reverse, you would want to see displacement now away from this run on liquidity. You would want to see an energetic move back down through these lows, creating fair value gaps that you could target to enter on, then to continue down lower from here. It would be a massive counter trend trade here on oil for sure. If you want to trade with the trend, then you're waiting to see sell side liquidity get run like we did here. You see that pullback. So here's what I was looking at just a minute ago. This right here, you see this up close candle. We run liquidity below here. We displace through price. After we displace back through this high, you can see the fair value gap right here. It came down into the fair value gap, and what did it do? It perfectly touched the top of that breaker right here. If you were just trading a touch of the breaker, then you would have had a nice sniper entry, and you would basically be at your TP level right about now. If you're just trading the touch of the breaker, you know me, I would have preferred to see it fill in that fair value gap inside that breaker, and I would have had my stop up down here, and my TP would be up here. So number one, I wouldn't have even been triggered into that oil breaker trade because I want to see price come inside the breaker, not just touch it. But if you had just traded a touch of that breaker, then you could have had a very nice little quick 1 to 2 off of that oil trade right there. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day here. We've had a good stream. Brad Do Nothing showed up and had a great stream. We talked about my Forex funds. We gave away some accounts. You know, just good to hang out with you guys as always. I appreciate you being here. I'm so grateful for the way that you guys continue to show up every single day. My OG 30 in here every single day. So have a great weekend. Get away from the charts and enjoy some time with your family and your loved ones. Get outside, get some fresh air. Let your mind process everything that's going on, and we'll be back at this next week, and we'll be hunting some more trophy buck A+ setups together. So y'all stay safe, happy hunting, have a great weekend, and we'll catch y'all Monday. Adios, y'all.